The betrayal. When Clara chose Simon. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a man named Daniel sat alone in his living room, the weight of betrayal pressing down on him like a lead blanket. His ex-girlfriend, Clara, had left him months ago, but the pain was still fresh. She had chosen someone else, Simon, and, in doing so, had shattered Daniel's trust and his heart. Clara had always been the kind of woman who thrived on attention, but Daniel had never imagined she would betray him. They had been together for years, building a life and a future together, but all of that came crashing down when Clara met Simon. The beginning of the end. It started innocently enough. Clara had met Simon at work, and at first, Daniel didn't think much of it. But over time, he began to notice changes in Clara. She would come home late, her phone constantly buzzing with messages. She would talk about Simon constantly, her eyes lighting up in a way that made Daniel's stomach churn. "He's just a friend," Clara would say whenever Daniel expressed his concerns. But Daniel knew better. He could feel the distance growing between them, the intimacy fading. And then, one day, Clara dropped the bombshell. "I'm leaving you," she said, her voice cold and detached. "I'm in love with Simon." The betrayal. Daniel was devastated. He had given Clara everything: his time, his energy, his love, and she had thrown it all away for someone else. But what hurt the most was the secrecy. Clara had been seeing Simon behind Daniel's back for months, lying to his face while building a new life with someone else. "How could you do this to me?" Daniel asked, his voice trembling with anger and pain. Clara shrugged, her expression unreadable. "I wasn't happy," she said. "Simon makes me happy." The aftermath. After Clara left, Daniel's life fell apart. He struggled to sleep, his mind racing with thoughts of Clara and Simon. He would stalk their social media, looking for any sign of their new life together, but Clara was careful. She never posted photos of them together, never mentioned Simon to their mutual friends. But Daniel knew the truth. He had seen the way Clara looked at Simon, the way she had chosen him over Daniel. The revelation. One day, Daniel's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "I know about Clara and Simon," the message read. Daniel's heart skipped a beat. He didn't recognize the number, but the words sent a chill down his spine. "Who is this?" he replied, his fingers trembling. "A friend," the message read. "Clara's been lying to you. She's been with Simon for months." Daniel's blood ran cold. He had suspected as much, but hearing it confirmed was like a punch to the gut. The confrontation. Daniel confronted Clara, his anger and pain boiling over. "How could you do this to me?" he shouted, his voice echoing through the empty room. Clara sighed, her expression cold and detached. "I wasn't happy," she said. "Simon makes me happy." Daniel shook his head, tears streaming down his face. "You betrayed me," he said. "You lied to me. You chose him over me." Clara shrugged, her expression unreadable. "I did what I had to do," she said. The aftermath. Daniel watched as Clara walked out of his life, the weight of her betrayal pressing down on him. He had given her everything, and she had thrown it all away for someone else. But as the days turned into weeks, Daniel began to heal. He realized that Clara's betrayal said more about her than it did about him. She was the one who had chosen to lie, to cheat, to betray. And Daniel, he was stronger than that.